Today we're doing Module 5, Lesson 5. The objective is to partition a whole into equal parts and define the equal parts to identify the unit fraction numerically. Okay, so partition means to separate it into pieces. Okay, so separating something into equal pieces. And then we have to figure out what those equal pieces represent. Okay. So it'll make a little bit more sense as we get working. The materials needed for today are your online whiteboard or your whiteboard dry erase marker and dry eraser. You also may want to get out your fraction strips because on the back, remember we've written like 2 pieces mean halves, 3 pieces mean thirds, and you might need those words today. Teaching style we're going to follow is where I do it, we do it together, and then you do it on your own. The first thing we're going to start off with is some vocabulary terms. The first vocabulary term is unit form. Unit form is the number with the unit written. So for example, in this picture here, we have 2 pieces. We know 2 pieces means half. One of those pieces is shaded, so we put the number 1 in front of the unit, which is half. So that's written with a number and then a word, 1/2. The other vocabulary term is fraction form. Fraction form is the numerator and denominator. Remember, numerator is the top number, denominator is the bottom number. So the numerator and denominator in number form. Okay, so in this example here, we have 1 piece shaded out of 2 pieces altogether. And even though it looks different than our unit form, we say it the same way. So we would say this fraction form as 1/2. Okay, so they're written a little bit differently, but they're said the same. Unit form is 1/2 with half spelled out. Fraction form is 1/2, where we're writing it as an actual fraction. Okay, so let's practice some of that. First, I'm going to show you an example. And it says here, fill in the chart. Each image is one whole. So we're going to start with A, which is this triangle here. And first it's asking the total number of equal parts. So you can see that there's 2 equal parts. So I'm going to put a 2 in here. Next, it says total number of equal parts shaded. Well, just one of those pieces is shaded, so I'm going to put 1. Then it's asking how that's written in unit form. Okay, remember unit form is the word. So 1 piece is shaded, so we're going to write the number 1. There's 2 pieces all together. We know that that's halves, so we're going to write 1/2. And we have to write out that word, which is why you might need the fraction strips to see those words on the back. Next, it's asking fraction form. So we say it the same way, but we write it differently. 1/2. Now let's take a look at B. We can see B has 1, 2, 3 equal pieces. One of those pieces is shaded. If you forgot, on the back of your fraction strips, you can see it says third. So this would be like 1/3. Okay, one of the pieces is shaded out of 3, 1/3. Fraction form, we say it the same way, but it looks different. 1/3. Okay, let's go ahead and try some examples with you. Okay, so you can see we're going to look at C first. Okay. On your whiteboards, I want you to go ahead and write the total number of equal parts. And then how many of those parts are shaded. So just those 2 numbers first. So we should have counted 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. One of those parts is shaded in unit form, and you may have needed to check the back of your 4s strip. 1/4. In fraction form, 1/4. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. At this one, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Only one of them is shaded. On your whiteboard, I'd like you to take a moment and write that in unit form and fraction form. Remember, you can look at your fraction strip that has 5 pieces if you need help with how to write that in unit form. Okay, let's go ahead and match your work with mine. In unit form, you should have written 1/5. And in fraction form, we write that as 1/5. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the homework for today. The homework today is a CAMI assignment. You're doing number 1, which is the whole page. You can see there's part A, B, C, D, and E. So for each of the examples, you're going to fill out how many equal parts there are, how many of those parts are shaded, write it in unit form, which remember is with the word, and then fraction form, which is the numbers. Go ahead and get started. Also, I did want to mention, if you do find it easier to type out the fraction form, so for example, if you were writing 1/3, okay, don't forget that you can use the slash. So if you're using the text box function, you can write that as 1/3, okay, if that is easier for you. If not, and you just want to write it with the drawing feature, that is fine as well, okay? So for fraction form, you can write it either of these ways, and that will count as being correct. Go ahead and begin.